Morning. Aren't you speaking then?
Not unless you saw my lips move.
Hey, look, Linda, hang on. Why the black looks? I thought we had it all sorted.
I bet you did.
So, what's changed then?
Contact me solicitor.
Hey, look, love, hang on. We had it all settled.
I've changed my mind.
Well, your mum can't change hers.
Oh, you've exchanged contracts, have you?
Not exactly, no.
Well, she could change it, couldn't she?
Look, if you weren't going to shift, why didn't you say so? I can't weigh you up.
Well, I can weigh you up.
What's that mean?
I mean, you're no mug when it comes to the flannel, are you?
What flannels?
All that soft soap. Oh, you can stop here till the sale's completed. Well, thanks for the favour, I don't think.
Look, there's no need for a Barney. Just be straight with me. Just tell me what your plans are.
Work it out.
Oh, my dad's more or less got it all fixed now. Shouldn't be too long before we're doing a moonlight flit.
Moonlight flit? Oh, I'm surprised you know that expression in these days of rent rebates and so on. I mean, people don't go loading up the stuff on the back of a cart and stealing away in the middle of the night. Not in this day and age.
You're kidding, aren't you? Round our flats, they come down notes with all the faces blacked.
Go on, they're very nice, them flats
Hey,
where you live.
Last week, you asked our Debbie, a fella come round for next door's television. He rang on the bell, no answer. So he goes down to the courtyard, he bawls out, "Number 14, landing 7, I want your telly." So number 14 comes out onto the balcony. "OK," he shouts, "Here, catch."
Oh, get on with your bother. Kevin, has Mr. Duckworth been into the garage, like, with his taxi?
Yeah, I think I did see his name in the book. For today, actually. Didn't you and him have a bit of a crash or something?
Oh, nothing you could call a crash. It was just a very slight accidental collision.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Ta-da.
Bye. There you are, you see. Just what I expected. I mean, you pestered me into taking my driving test, and what's the result? I made a laughing stock, a figure of fun.
Well, it seems to me like your sash cords have gone. It's, they tend to rot away, you know, in time. I'll try and fit it in for you before the end of the week.
Well, I'll be obliged. It gets awfully stuffy in that office and you can't open the window. Right, see you at the end of the week then.
Okay.
Bye.
Ken? You know that piece of advice you gave me about number 11?
Look, number 11 is no longer my concern.
Yeah, well, I went to the estate agents after you tipped me off.
Yeah, so Linda told me. I had my card, as they say, well and truly marked.
Well, that's what I can't understand. I mean, she seemed to accept the situation. Now she's turned all bullshit about it.
Oh, you mean she's refusing to move?
Well, I said she could stay there till the sale was completed, and as I say, she seems fairly happy about that. I met her on the street this morning. It was like talking to a different woman.
In what sense?
Well, in the sense that she made it quite plain that she's got no intention of moving.
I see. Well, Bill, apart from confirming what you probably already suspect, i.e. you're dealing with a very unpredictable lady, I don't really know how I can help.
Look, Ken, if this is out of order, just say so. But I know she's been using your phone. Has she been in contact with her mum again?
Well, she certainly hasn't used our phone since we had words. But, on the other hand, it isn't the only phone in existence.
What I mean is Mrs. Tanner the sort of person that generally keeps her word?
Well, Elsie Tanner's certainly no Welsher. I mean, she's emotional, she's impulsive, and if Linda were to turn on the water... But haven't you got anything binding as yet, as far as the contract is concerned?
No, not yet. Not until I get news of the mortgage. All these flaming twists and turns, I wish I'd never set eyes on the rotten house. Probably find it's got dry rot if I ever do buy it.
Well, I'm probably not the best judge of this, but if I were you, Bill, I'd press on. I mean, I can't see her stopping. What's she got around here to stop for?
She's got possession, hasn't she? Of the house. But she's 9 points to the law.
Hey, do you know, something's just struck me.
Hon?
Now that little argument you had with Jack Duckworth's taxi, going to cost me, isn't it?
I've told you, I'm quite prepared to meet any expenses out of my own pocket.
That's neither here nor there. He's going to be claiming off my insurance. Well, it's bound to affect me no claims.
Well, I don't...
Morning.
Morning, love.
I've had one of those loose leaf notes.
What, ruled A4?
Yep, that's it.
What project is it today, then?
Hey?
You're writing a novel, aren't you, Curly? The Binman's Tale, Weatherfield with lid on.
You always get things wrong, don't you, Rita? Norman's not a writer, he's an astronomer.
Well, I dabble, you know.
You've got charts and everything, haven't you? Oh, I hope you don't think I'm being nosy, but Emily lets me have a little glance now and then.
Oh, feel free.
Well, I mean, I just think it's very exciting, you know, seeing all the stars and their positions, or courses, or whatever you call them, all plotted out. Well, I mean, even the names themselves are like symphonies, aren't they? Saturn and Jupiter, Neptune and Mercury.
Arcturus and Vega are doing some very strange things currently.
What are they?
And they reckon Jupiter's second major moon has got an ocean, 50 kilometres deep, in which low forms of life might exist.
Do you know, I bet there's folk on Jupiter say the same thing about Weatherfield Canal.
Rita, don't be so silly. This is a serious subject. Norman, do you ever come across anything that you can't explain?
Well, I don't know. I might have saw something last night. But you see, I've got to proceed by a process of elimination. But at 1 o'clock, I saw a little green light on a downward trajectory over the tip.
Is anybody home? In here!
Oh, hello, is Bill? Mr. X, was he in?
Not at the moment, but I'll make him back any time for snapping.
Oh, well, I'll not wait, because I've only got my dinner hour, you know.
Well, if you want to leave a message.
Why? You work here, dear?
But it's somewhere to come. I mean, I've nearly finished at school now. Sweating for my exams, you know, CSE's like.
Oh, darling, you must be Debbie then, Bill's daughter.
That's right.
Well, pleased to meet you, love. I'm Mrs. Tilsley. Your brother works for my son at his garage.
Oh, you're Mrs. Tilsley?
Yeah. Why, what's the surprise?
It's just the idea you get of folk. You know, from what our Kevin said.
Yeah, well, perhaps we'd better not go into that, love. Look, when your dad comes back, would you tell him it's me washer? I think it's pump that's gone again. I'd get our Brian to do it, but he's that busy these days.
Yeah, of course. And if he's not back, I'll leave him a note.
I hear that we might be coming neighbours then before long. Your dad has got his eye on number 11, hasn't he?
Oh, aye, he's dead keen where we all are.
But you haven't signed that dotted line, have you?
Not yet. See, we've had to wait for mortgage people. Actually, a letter came this morning. I fetched it. I think it might be news-like.
What's up, Cock? Been a fire, has there?
No, of course not. Letters come from Building Society.
Good news, is it?
How should I know? I mean, I've been on pins.
Hey, own up. You've had a babe.
I've been here 'cause like I've been at yard all rotten morning. Then I thought I bet he's down at that boozer. Go on then, open it. Suspense is killing me. Been down by inches all morning.
So, we've got it.
We've got it. We've got it.
Got it. Every penny we asked for.
Blooming heck, that's great. That's brilliant. Oh, Shiny-o.
Shiny-o? That's your mum, that is.
Which house is it?
That one.
Oh, a real house with a backyard and upstairs a parlour like my gran's. Can we go and have a scan at it inside, like?
Well, look, we'd best make arrangements first before we go barging in. There's a lady living there, like.
Can we not just knock and ask?
But there's no rush. We don't want to be pestering folk, do we? Yeah. Fine bet, love.
Mr. Duckworth, I was hoping to catch you.
You bounty hunters tracking down your men, eh?
No, I just wanted a little word about that bump that we had, you know.
No problem, darling. I'll sort it out.
How do you mean?
I mean, it's in the garage being fixed. Brian Tilsley and these men are working night and day.
Well, I just wanted to... I hope you understand that, you know, I'm going to foot the bill.
Well, I knew you'd insist. I could feel it in my water, look. I mean, I could have got the assessor down, couldn't I? But I thought, no, mates, you see.
No, it's just that... do I understand you're not going to claim on Rita's insurance? Because she's getting very niggly about, you know, claims and so on.
Yeah. Listen, I wouldn't dream of it, Petal. What is that sexy perfume you're wearing? I mean, desire me, I bet. How long are you going to keep on tormenting me, mate?
Yeah, we're a bit light on human interest this week, I must admit.
Yeah, there is that one about the giant spud.
A bit Irish, isn't it?
Irish? No, there's nothing Irish about it.
Oh, yeah, sorry, no, I'm getting confused.
It's this chap who's grown an outsized potato. You know, he sent us a photo. Looks a bit like Fred G in profile.
Well, that's not human interest, is it? I mean, potatoes, Fred G, that's gardening hints and horror stories.
Well, I don't see what's so funny. I mean, it's not often you get reports of mysterious green lights.
There could have been a speck of paint on his telescope lens.
I'll lay out it's them temporary traffic lights bottom of Bessie Street. Nobody knows why they've been there.
It could also be an important scientific discovery. A matter of unexplained astronomical phenomena.
Can't say that while you're gargling.
Hey up, watch out, we've got the press here, Wiggin.
Don't worry, little green lights we can do without.
What about little green men with horns and long tails, eh?
Jack sees them in gangs, don't you, love? Dancing on roof of their shed.
Hello? Who? Elaine? Oh, Helen, from the hospital committee. Oh, I'm sorry, Mrs. Bishop is not in at the moment. Come in, it's not locked. Yeah, shall I take a message, or do you want to ring back later? You'll ring back later, it's not important. Yeah. Okay. Cheerio. Bye-bye.
I'm not intruding, am I? I mean, you did mean come in when you said it wasn't locked.
Yeah, sure. Is it Mrs. Bishop you're after?
No, as a matter of fact, I think you're who I'm after.
Me? Well, there's no queue.
I'm Sally Waterman. I work for the Recorder.
Oh.
I don't believe we've actually met before, but I've seen you around.
Don't tell me. You've been driven wild by my animal magnetism.
Oh, yes, definitely. But at the moment, I'm after a story.
Hey?
It's just something I heard down the pub. Do you mind if I sit down?
Oh, yeah, sure, sorry.
Just something about you being an astronomer.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, to get to the nitty-gritty, the tale was that you'd recently spotted, well, whatever it is that you spot, and you couldn't quite fathom it.
And were they taking the mickey, saying I was balmy?
Well, there were one or two jokers, but the general opinion seemed to be that you were a man who knew what he was talking about.
No kidding.
Look, Mr. Watts, I wouldn't be here if I thought you were a nutter, would I?
No, it's not you. It's just people can be, well, very sceptical, can't they? And I wouldn't like astronomy to be made fun of. I'm not Galileo, but I'm not the village idiot either.
Well, let me be straight. I'm simply here to establish the facts. For all I know, it could be a spoof, couldn't it? A leg pull.
A leg pull? No. I've done me sums. I've done me checks. I saw an uncharted green phosphorescent light flying through space. Come on.
Where are we going?
See the evidence. I've got a little green Martian in the bath, haven't I?
Well, if the Martians did land, they wouldn't stop long, because what would they find? Horde of barbarians. Honestly, sometimes I despair of the human race. Especially the type that you find propping up public house bars. I mean, if it were left to them, we'd all be living in caves.
Listen, who's talking? You're not much of a demon for change yourself.
More of a demon for change than you are.
What, when you won't even get in a car because you've had a bit of a bump? If it were left to you, you'd have us all back in Stone Age, riding bikes.
Oh, they didn't have bikes in the Stone Age. The wheel hadn't been invented then.
Anyway, if you're going to be stupid about this driving, I'm going to get you one of them butcher's boy things.
You can get me a sit-up and beg for all I care.
What's a sit-up and beg when it's at home?
It's a bike. What do you think it is, a dog biscuit?
Well, I've heard of penny farthings.
Look, a sit-up and beg, as I'm sure you know, was a lady's bike with a sort of circular crossbar.
Do you think you could ride one down to the wholesalers and back?
Possibly.
Of course, you'd have to be carrying stock as well, you know.
Well, they don't make sit-up and begs anymore.
Which leads us back to the car.
Oh, Rita! 1 minute you're on about your no claims, and the next minute you're insisting that I drive when it's obvious that I'm not safe, brand new licence or not. I mean, OK. This time it's not going to cost me too much because according to Mr. Duckworth it'll only be about £30. But, I mean, heaven knows what'll happen next time. I could end up in court.
Oh, that was fascinating. It really was. To be honest, I did sniff a leg pull. But now you've sort of explained, you know, how it all sort of fits together. Oh, I'll just get me bag then.
You must have left them down now and I dragged you upstairs.
Hello.
Hello, Mrs. Bishop. You're back then. I was just showing Sally me charts.
See. Hello. Hello. I suppose you've heard, have you, Mrs. Bishop, about Curly's sightings? I beg your pardon?
What I saw last night, what I've been logging. Miss Waterman agrees it could have real scientific significance.
Do you study astronomy then, Miss Waterman? Not exactly.
They're going to do a piece on me.
A piece? You mean an article? Oh, well, that's very exciting. Yes, I've got all my notes now. Just be a question of getting Ken to okay it. Bye then.
I'll see you out.
I'll be in touch then.
Right, see ya. Bye-bye.
Well, fancy that.
Well, I reckon she'll do an in-depth think piece on me work as an explorer in space. I think people will look at me in a different light once this is published, Mrs. Bishop.
I don't want to alarm you, Norman, but these things can get blown up.
Well, I'm not expecting new scientist standard, but what do you mean blown up?
Visitors from outer space, that sort of thing. Not that Ken would allow anything too sensational, I don't suppose.
What are you telling me? You got a notice to quit? You got bailiffs outside or something?
I'm telling you nothing. I'm just asking you what your plans are, and I'm hoping for a straight answer.
I don't have any.
Apart from mucking me about.
I'm a creature of whim, aren't I? All us Jezebels are creatures of whim. It's the secret of our charm.
Look, Linda, stop playing games, eh? You gave me to understand you'd be moving on at some point, and I've tackled things on that basis.
Relax, there's other houses, isn't there?
But I've banged in for this one. I've laid out. I've got solicitors on the job now.
It's only coppers, I reckon.
I wish you'd give over. Only coppers. It cost 50 quid for a survey. That's another thing I can't understand. The fella came round here, you let him in.
He had a nice smile and blue eyes. I'm a sucker for blue eyes.
Maybe I should bring my kids round, eh? Let them play on your heartstrings.
Why not? I'd like to meet your kids.
Look, they don't know your ear-pulling strokes. They think it's all cut and dried.
I'm sorry, Bill. I know you think I'm a silly prat, but let's face it, you are being a bit one-sided.
Me? I am?
You've got a flat. I live here. I've got out. I'm out on the street. And if you tell me to go back to my husband, I'll clock you.
All right, I won't. But don't come the abdabs about my flat. I mean, what do you think it is, Buckingham Palace?
It's got a roof.
It's a slum flat in a tower block. There's kids running wild everywhere. I'm trying to hold a family together, trying to keep a business going.
Well, it can't be that bad.
Look, don't tell me about council flats. I helped to build them. I saw all the whiskered architects and town planners in operation. They knocked down good houses and built slums. Luxury apartments for themselves in Cheshire and slums for Joe Soap.
All right, so it's not a Fifth Avenue apartment, but it's better than nought.
Look, Linda, I'm buying this place, period, so at some point you're going to have to be on your bike.
So we're back to the bailiffs again.
If you push it that far.
It's you that's doing the pushing. All you have to do is knock the deal in the head.
And what good would that do?
It might give me a chance.
Chance of what?
Oh, a chance to get me mum seeing different. See if she'd take me on as a tenant.
Oh, come on. I'm not pulling out now. It's gone too far. In any case, that's dirty pool, isn't it?
Dirty what?
It's emotional blackmail.
There is another solution.
Look, Linda, I'm sorry if I sound hard, but I've got to think of my kids. If you want to make me out the villain, suit yourself.
I want you on my side. Him and his flaming kids.
Yeah, I know. Is there any chance of a loan of the jam jar?
Well, it's in dock, innit?
In dock?
After that bump.
What, you mean when your bar went? I could have straightened that out.
Oh, you could, Charles Atlas, couldn't you?
Have you already been out on your wheels today? Or have you been birding it?
No such luck. I got fixed up with the coats last 2 days on the hip, minibus, chauffeuring pensioners.
How do, lads?
Hi, Brian.
I'll get you one, can I?
Yeah, I'll have a pint of bitter, can you?
That'll do me, bright sir.
That's a pint for Dracula, half for Tarzan, and what mythical creature do you bring to mind?
Goldilocks, Shirley Temple.
Hey, I've got your motor, remember?
I hope you're getting a move on, I know. It is my business, you know. I've got no coinage coming in while my wheels are off the road.
We finish tomorrow, which is shifting. So I hope you're as sharp as paying your bill. Son of your mate living next door, eh?
Yeah, be dead handy, that.
Here.
You don't know what his sister's like, dear.
She's a grand little lass. Keeps the house together from what I've heard.
You call me a little homemaker just once more.
Little homemaker.
Right.
Hey, no, lay off. Me dad wants that sawdust.
Apologise then. Or better still, crawl.
Look, all I said was, what's the point in applying for jobs when we've got this new house?
On your knees.
You'll be needed at home, won't you?
Male chauvinist pig.
Oh, look, dead. Now I've got to wash my hair.
That'll be fifth time this week. Don't use my shampoo either.
Are you two arguing again?
It was him.
It were him.
I don't care who it was. You ought to know better, especially you are, Kevin. Now just get this lot swept up.
Dad, did you make any arrangements about seeing the house?
No. No, I've been up to here.
I could write it tonight, fetch it in first thing. You can polish it like and bung it off to the printers.
I don't know.
What, don't you think it stands up?
Well, if you're an expert, okay, but this is Curly Watts. I mean, when all's said and done, he's a bin man.
Yes, but can't you see that's the angle? That's what makes it a great story. Look, Ken, I'm not saying we should take it seriously as though it's a great breakthrough in astronomy.
I should hope not. He's got no credentials.
We'll just present what he says, right? And let people make up their own minds.
Well, we want something this week, something light. But on balance, I think the giant potato's favourite.
Look, let's just examine what we've got on this E.T. story.
He saw a mysterious green light travelling at speed on a trajectory that was bound to bring it to Earth.
He checked it out, right? It wasn't a weather balloon, and it wasn't a man-made satellite.
Yeah, Sally, steady on. This is Curly Watts we're talking about, not Greenwich Observatory.
Which makes it all the more of a natural, Ken. Look, let me spell it out. He saw an object flying through space which he couldn't identify. Now, what was all that add up to?
An unidentified flying object.
Exactly. A UFO. And UFOs are news, Ken. And we could be first. It's a scoop.
Look, Sally, I know you're keen, but I think there's a touch of the ace reporters here.
Well, then, OK, then. It's letters. And it's a controversy. It's Mr. Statham, on whom our livelihood depends, tickle pink. I've even got the headline. Bin man boffin spots UFO from outer space. Now, come on, put your hand up. That beats potatoes, doesn't it?
And we're back on the street this lunchtime at midday. And coming up next in On Plus, it's Emmerdale.